everybody.
Hi.
Here we are.
Here
It's
we
been
are.
a minute for me.
Yeah.
It has been a minute for you. It's been a while.
Hi.
Welcome
nice to be
back.
back. Thanks.
And your voice is back.
It's
Oh,
mostly here.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, yeah, you had that procedure that
Yeah.
took about a month to recover from.
Yep.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Is it, now that you're at the other end of it, does it feel worth it? Does it feel like you're glad you did it? Is
Still
it
have about a
noticeable?
week and a half of like official healing time, and I do think it was worth it, even at
Nice.
this point. So.
Great.
Right. Exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Exciting. And we started a new thing while Jess was gone.
We did?
We did. Well, you did.
A new segment.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's called the ointment segment. We just bring up things that are topical.
I love that.
Just like very, yeah.
Okay, like current events.
Yeah. It's like what
Yeah.
anything that happened in the past week, something like that.
Always
You can-
keeping it focused on wellness-related things.
No, not really.
No,
Yeah.
it doesn't have. I don't think
Necessarily.
so.
No, I don't think so.
Topical in our lives. Topical. Generally speaking, like we chatted a couple weeks ago about how like Wicked
Oh
came
yeah,
out and
Wicked
was like
came
a
out
thing.
because we
Um,
were talking about it before we started recording.
Yeah.
I'm like, let's just talk about it while we record. I want to know how people thought about it.
Yeah.
Carried over.
Does anybody have any ointment?
No, I don't have anything. I'm trying to think of the past
Oh.
week.
That's one of those words.
It is a weird word.
Yeah,
One of
just
those
might as well
words.
call it the moist twine segment.
Ooh,
I
why
know.
is twine weird?
I don't know. I've heard people say they don't like it.
Mwah.
Mwah,
Is it
so-
that sound? Mwah.
Yeah.
Could be.
Mwah.
Mm-hmm.
Twine.
Moist has it as well.
Oink.
Last week.
I mean, we're all about to go on break. Like, the studio's about to be
Yeah.
closed for a couple of weeks, so staff have time with their families.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was an
Those-
important thing when we kind of took the helm, working slowly. It's taken us a year and a half to work towards that like 6-week goal, right? Like
Mhm.
6 weeks a year off, which is so not even extraordinary outside of the United States.
Yep.
Right? Yeah. I know. I can't wait. Like, I looked at that. I'm like, I remember when school was like the last week leading up to it, which was like insane.
Mm-hmm.
This feels less insane. Feels like, let me get my ducks in a row. Let me do my work and then be psyched about the break. I'm already planning what I want to do over the break. So,
Yeah.
Like a day by day.
yeah, kind of. Like, it's going to be, I definitely want to like play as many board games as possible,
Yeah.
especially a lot of the ones we haven't played a lot of.
Yep.
So,
Board gaming.
yeah, it's going to be hardcore.
Extravaganza.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot.
It is.
So strap in.
We're gonna put board games on every surface. That we
Seriously.
can,
I love that.
There would already be one at this table.
except that we're recording.
We're doing
I
that.
was talking, I mean, we have to eat
we
Christmas,
have
dinner.
Christmas dinner.
This is coming out after Christmas, but yeah,
Christmas
there would be already a
dinner.
game out. But so I gotta behave. I gotta wait. So
Yeah,
on the other table though, you can see I got Sky Team set up.
you do.
That should be fun.
I mean, that's the game table, so that table really doesn't need to be reserved.
Is
for
it going to
other
be like
things.
the kitchen island and the
I think so.
Like, okay.
Yeah, the island.
So-
The island
Oh,
is hard
man.
because it's always got kitchen accoutrement.
Well, you know what? We're gonna get takeout that day and put all the kitchen accoutrements away.
Love it.
So this is like a goal, like every
Yeah.
surface.
Yes.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
we did this once. We were. It actually was it. I just had to go to campus when I was getting my master's degree.
Mm.
I had to go to campus in New Hampshire, and the closest place that we could stay for free was my aunt's house, and so it was maybe like 45, 50 minutes away from
Yeah,
campus.
something like that.
Wasn't like really close by, but close enough. So we stayed at my aunt's. She wasn't there. And we covered, I mean, my aunt's house was gigantic.
This house
in
could
New
fit in
Hampshire.
that house's living room,
Yeah.
and
This
I'm not
entire
kidding.
house could fit in the like great
That is
room
not
of
an
that house.
exaggeration. I'm not being cute.
And there were, in that great room alone, there were 2 coffee tables and a bar.
Nice.
Then there was the kitchen table, the hallway table, the family room table,
There's a
the
t-
library
yeah.
table, the dining room
Yeah,
table.
that table.
Like we just set up games. And then it was so fun because we went from like room to room.
Uh-huh.
We didn't have to like clean up the previous game
play
before,
the next one?
Right.
you know. So it was
Yeah.
just like a big set everything
It was
up.
like a analog arcade.
It was.
Just got to hop
Yeah.
around from one to
Hopping
one.
games.
I know. I love that. Like that feeling of like, and now the scene is set for this game in this room.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
And
That's
it's
cool.
pure like Christmas magic where it's like, oh my god, this thing is awesome. Where's the other thing? It's right over there. Let's go play right now. And not
Yeah.
like the logistics of like, well, let's set up, let's clean up. No,
Let's replace this game with
it's
the
all
next
out
game.
here to
No, it's just
explode it everywhere.
mayhem, game explosions.
Love it.
Yeah. And then I realized too that something we didn't do this year
Hmm.
or last year.
Hmm.
Was it that long ago we went to PAX?
It's 22, 2 years ago.
Holy bananas. So PAX is like a board game con. It's a board game convention in Philly.
Yeah.
And we went in 2022
Mhm.
and it was so fun. And like there's all these board games that have not been released yet.
Oh yeah, like
And little demos set up so you can
Yep.
just walk around and like learn how to play the games. There's people there that are all psyched about the games that want
Uh-huh.
to teach you how to play the games, which is arguably one of the harder things about
Oh,
having
yeah.
a new board game is you have to read an entire owner's manual
And then
basically.
it's like you have to
Oh.
decipher how they're describing the role, right? Like,
Right.
I mean, it feels like a lot of times there's nuance.
Oh, yeah.
It's a lot of nuance.
Yeah.
like I feel like I do a pretty good job teaching a board game, but to do it at that level at a convention only because of like how clear you have to be in such a short amount of time. Like someone's like, demo this game, let's play it. I'm like, okay, I need to make this so clear so you can play it now.
Uh-huh.
I don't have an hour,
Right.
and then I got to do that all day and all weekend.
All day.
God bless them. That's
I wonder
good.
what you get though to do that.
Well, you probably work for the publisher,
But
so
we're
you
I
the
was like,
game
you
publisher.
pay to have a booth,
Yeah.
and you get your paycheck.
right.
Like
I mean, probably the same perk. You get access to like all the games that are coming out, and you get to
Yeah,
promote them.
yeah.
And
That's true.
There might be like trades that you know what I
Yeah.
mean, like
Mhm.
yeah. And you bought a cool thing there, right?
yes. What
Didn't
did
you
I
buy
get?
like a?
Oh, the backpack.
I
Yeah,
got that for free.
you did.
Well, it was like you paid some money, and it went to Toys for Tots,
Yeah, I think so.
and it
Or,
was like
specifically games for tots kind of.
right. It was
a
definitely
similar
because it
thing.
was in December. It was around
Yeah.
Christmas time, and
so you make a donation kind of. And you
yeah,
get the
and it was like
backpack.
$50, and then in the bag, it's like a mystery. It's like full of games, and
So
you just
cool.
pick a bag.
They're like kind of laid out, and you're like,
Nope. Yeah, you
Yep.
just pick
that
one.
one.
You have
Actually,
no idea.
it was boxes. Because
Right.
there was a tower of boxes. And it's like, here's my money, and like
pick a
go pick one.
mystery box,
And it's a
you
mystery
grab your
box.
bag,
So-
so fun.
you unbox
And the
your
bag
box.
is super cool because it's a board game transportation, like
Vehicle.
designed big enough to carry games.
Yeah. So when
Cool.
we go again, so this is what I'm like. I missed doing that this
Mm.
year. I mean, last year I feel like we were still kind of just getting into the groove of being in the new house and all that stuff still. But like,
Totally.
I want to go to PAX again
Yeah.
and get to, kind of have that be like a holiday trip
Mm.
because we'll be in Philly and we can
Mhm.
stay
Yeah.
and we could do some shopping too.
Yeah.
And
Because usually right by the convention center, they have like a
Is that
similar
market
market
thing?
like New York City had.
what is that
Oh,
place
that's
called?
fun. Oh, in Philly.
Yeah, the big markety type of place.
Oh, like the food?
I mean, aren't we gonna go there?
For
Did
the
you ever hear?
flower.
Did you hear back
Oh,
from them?
I didn't hear back from them, and they
Okay.
actually need info from us. Probably, I need to write to them.
We're gonna have
Thank
a
you.
booth at the Philadelphia Flower Show.
We asked for
Shut
one.
up.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
We did. We asked for one.
It's Reading Terminal Market? Is that
Yeah,
what you're
yeah,
thinking of?
Reading Terminal Market.
I was
Um,
like, it's like a train
It's
or
so
a,
like
At the
I was like, it's a
Philadelphia
Monopoly
Flower
piece.
Show?
What is it?
Dude, tell my mother.
Oh, I'm planning on telling her.
Yeah.
Yes.
Will she
she-
fly in?
I mean,
sometimes she does.
sometimes she does because her and her friend, my aunt Paula,
Mhm.
would go to that every year. I would not be surprised if that has happened since they moved to Iowa. Like they
Would I
make
get
she
to
makes a
meet your
trip.
mama? Would I get to
Yeah.
meet Matt's mom?
Yeah.
That's
And I think that the flower show is probably in the same convention center.
Oh, I would not be
That
surprised. It's a
PAX is in.
gigantic building.
It's huge. It's right like
You could
center.
have 3 conventions going on at once
Yeah,
and
yeah.
not have
Cool.
But
lack
I
of
want to do
space.
that as like a holiday thing because, I mean, what are we here to talk about today? We're actually here to talk about
The holidays.
the holidays and,
And-
and a specific love language,
Mm-hmm.
gift giving,
Mm.
gift receiving.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things I love giving people as gifts is board games.
Yeah.
I really love that. I love to try to figure out ones that people will like, even if they're not like if they don't consider themselves gaming people. Like what is the hook to get them into it? Like, is there a particular theme that they
Mhm.
would like? Is there, and we do this with the kids. Like, we'll get them all some kind of gaming gift. But
I love it because ever since we really started, I mean, we've been kind of knee deep in this hobby for 10 years at least. And it's almost like if people are like, oh, I don't really like board games. I'm like, that's cute. And you're getting one and you should learn you should do this anyway.
You will like it.
What you mean to say is you don't really like Monopoly.
Yeah. I mean, it's more funny. Like,
Yeah.
I think like you should do it. Like, I'm going to use the word should. Do it with your spouse, partner, do it with your family. Like there's so many different types of games out there to play.
Friends.
Different levels of complexity, and it's just again, it's like a great way to get together and do something that's not on a screen. Like it's analog, like put your phones away and like interact with each other on a very like not analog way.
Well, I think it also like board gaming lends itself to an experience for me that is similar to travel.
Wow. Oh, elaborate.
Wow.
And that you have to be outside your comfort zone
Mm.
and you have to be present with what's going on. Like you cannot be elsewhere and play a board game that you've never played before or learn a board game that is completely new to you. Like you have to be in the moment, to be paying attention, and it's going to be uncomfortable. Like people attach like, am I going to be good at this board game? Am I going to win? I mean, I don't give two shits about winning. And there's that element of like, oh God, am I going to be so bad at this that everyone is going to be like, what are you doing? All of people's stuff comes up similarly in a board game scenario
As it is in travel.
as travel.
There's also the element in a lot of board games of a story, right? Or like a place, or like you are kind of transported into
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
a scene.
I mean,
So that makes sense.
some of them are so
theme.
good now. They're like a Disney ride where like
Yeah.
it's a whole themed experience. Like there's a story you're telling as you're playing, not just like, oh, let me move my piece around as many times as the dice say and accumulate money or whatever.
Right.
Like there's a very heavily themed, which adds to it the experience for me. I love that.
I've never thought of board games as kind of like a universal gift, just like food, right? Or like, but I'm trying to think of the other things that like there's something in this for everyone, and I hadn't thought of board games that way, and I love that. I love that because there are so many flavors. and
There's so many different
styles, yeah.
like flavor styles, and like direct competition, cooperative, like where there's zero competition. I think there's a little bit of a renaissance happening with board games.
Oh, 100%. I mean, when we started to get together and I started diving into the hobby, there was already like games out there that I had not heard of, and it has exploded.
It's
It's
exploded.
exploded.
And you're likely to find in many places a board game store at this point, which was not the case when we started. There was one like an hour plus
Yep.
away from
There's
us.
one in Albany,
Yeah.
Troy. Oh, it's Albany. Yeah.
Yep. So I don't know. I think like when I approach gift giving, and if we're gonna kind of zero in on what we're talking about today, which is like, the structure that there are particular ways that people express love really easily, and there's particular ways that people like or prefer to receive love. And one of those things is gift giving. And for me, like gift giving is about like, I want to see something and I want to think about that person. So I'm not good at the like, I'm not good at just being like, oh, you know what this friend needs, or, unless they say something directly, but like, I can't conjure it out of thin air. And what does happen is I'm out, I'm shopping in stores or online or whatever, and I see something and I'm like, oh my God, this reminds me of, whoever. And doing that in a board game store is so fun for me.
Right.
It's like this would be the game. This
This
is
is-
the
yeah.
one they would care about.
It's like, oh, my sister should play this game. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? There's definitely.
yeah.
I didn't buy any board games for people for Christmas this year, but I have a tab open on my phone of one that I was thinking about for someone. I went a different direction, but I'm like saving that tab open because birthdays come also every year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking about gift giving on the way out here because I knew that was the topic. I thought that was the topic. And And I love gift giving. I love gift giving. And for me, that happens, sure, where I'm like, oh, I see something and it sparks up this like, but I think all year long I'm listening. All year long I'm listening.
So good.
I'm like,
I try and
filing.
I totally
and-
like so late, and it's like too late. I'm like, oh shit, I should have been paying attention 4 months ago.
But that also means that like it's like I have people that I buy for that are in a farther out circle, and that makes that style of gift giving a lot harder. Like
Yep.
I see you every week, you know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I have lots of opportunities to listen
Yeah.
to what you're saying. So it only works really well with your inner
Or
circles.
the people that you
but
spend a lot of
spend
time
a lot of
with.
time with.
Yeah. You're so, I mean, I would say not only is this like one of your primary love languages
And it's one of the primary ones to give.
to give.
Yeah. Mhm.
You're so fucking good at it.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Like-
it shows that you like it because you're very,
Like,
very
this
good at
is
it.
the- This
Like
is
it.
the, notorious awareness of Jessica in our friend circle is like, oh my God, Jessica's so good at gift giving.
I know.
Like, we all talk about this. This is like part of, one of the things that it's not like shock or astonish. It's like,
How could she be?
it's like obvious, like, of course she is. And it's also like I've had moments in time where I'm like, well, this this is it. This is the top. She's not gonna be able to top this. And then every single time I'm like, dude, how did you know? Like when did I say this out loud? Because sometimes I just think I say things in my head too.
I know.
Well, with us, you might. With
That's
us, you
true.
might. I
Well,
might be.
with us, you might.
Right.
With we, you definitely. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
bound to happen for the amount of time we spend together,
Mm.
and it happens. There are times where like, honey, we need to do this thing. I'm like, I think you only told yourself that,
Oh yeah. Well,
and you told me quietly. But yeah,
that's up for debate. That
It
we're
happens.
not gonna have right now. But yeah, it's such a. It feels like not just regular gift giving. It feels like you're like a gift curator.
I love
a
that.
gift sommelier.
Yes,
Yes.
Sommelier.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, geez, I have Jessica to thank for my resurgent cigar
Hobby.
hobby. It was 2 years. I think it was 2 years ago.
You're welcome, Jeannie.
Yeah. Thanks.
Well, that's 2 years ago. You got me like a sample pack from
Mhm.
wherever, and I guess now I should just say upstairs in the library there is a humidor
Uh-huh.
with a digital readout that's full.
Yeah.
So that's an
Amazing.
indication of how that. Obviously, you were finger was on the
Tapped
pulse.
into something.
You
I
Well,
was
and you
like,
know, the
this
thing-
man.
The thing to know about you is you can receive like when you receive a gift of something that maybe isn't like already interwoven into
Mhm.
your day, into
Yeah.
your lifestyle, you will like it's full send. You're
Right,
like,
hell, like rabbit hole it.
you're like, okay, new hobby. Okay. Like
It's true.
you don't receive things and be like, huh, this isn't like a thing that I do. You're like, guess this is a thing I do.
You're almost like your appetite gets wet by
Yeah,
that.
yeah. And-
totally.
Yeah.
And part of it is, I mean, I don't feel like I owe it to the person, but I feel like, I don't know, I owe it to like, oh, you thought of me enough to get this. I should at least do the bare minimum and like fully participate in this somehow.
Mm-hmm.
And chances are the person knows me well enough that like it does tickle a fancy and makes me intrigued. I'm like, oh, all right,
Yeah.
you've started a new.
Well, now my mind
Hobby.
is spinning because I'm like, what is like so out of left field that I could get mad, but yet like the rabbit hole would just open up and he'd be so into it.
Right.
All right. I'm thinking.
Because that's definitely like you don't phone in a thing that you're gonna do.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
Right.
which is one of the reasons I think that you're also not particular, but you're intentional about like,
Oh, yeah.
this is the thing I'm gonna pick up because you run with it. And
Very much, yeah.
and I don't know how board games started. I feel like you had one game which was Axis and Allies.
No, I mean, it really, really started when I was younger, 10, 12, somewhere in between there.
And you got a gift.
We got a gift.
Uh-huh.
It's this game called Battle Masters.
So ridiculous.
It's so amazing. So like the board, which was just basically a mat, like almost like a shower curtain type material,
Okay.
right? But it was a mat,
very
had-
80s game.
had
Like,
very had big hexes all over the thing, and it was like a battlefield, right? And it was two armies, and it was like the good guys were like humans, like knights and
Okay.
warriors and stuff, and it was like Middle Ages fantasy themed, and the bad guys were like goblins and orcs and ogres and stuff,
Yeah.
right? And so like
Very Lord of the Rings,
And
not
they were
Lord
all-
of the Rings.
yeah, very miniature. They were miniatures, so that was fun just to like put them all together and then see. Like the board was like from where I'm sitting to like where the cameras are.
It was
Like
big.
it was huge.
So
like
like
it,
2 feet, 3 feet. Like,
yeah, it went
And
on the ping
wasn't
pong
there,
table.
like some kind of shuffleboard.
I made one. Because instead of having to lean, because if the game was on the floor, we had to lean over and push them. I'm like, this is not what
Or get up
Churchill
and
would
walk.
do.
Did you make this in like wood shop?
No, I just put like the molding that goes like
Like crown molding. Or
crown
whatever.
molding.
Uh-huh.
There's just some left over in the basement. I'm like, Mom, Dad, do you need this? They're like, why? I'm like, I just want to make a stick to push my little.
To push my
Figures
guys
around.
around the
Guys
board.
And they're like, go right ahead. So I like had a big stick, cut the end off, put it perpendicular, glued or nailed it, painted it, put like my battle. I like put the Matt's battle staff or something like that. Yeah, but it was so like that game was huge. My sister and I would play it. Best friends, the Platinskys, the three of them would come over and like we would all play it. And that was the click where I was like, oh, I love this type of thing. And this was like in the late 80s, maybe early 90s. Had no idea or means to like find anything else out more about it. So like, yes. And then 15, 20, 10 years later, the stores started popping, like board game stores or board games, like more in-depth games other than like Monopoly started
Right.
popping up. And I was like, oh, that looks like fun. So then I started getting into that. That was probably 2 or 3 years before we met. Just started to get into it. Didn't find anyone that would be willing to participate as much as you did. Yeah. And then I'm like, so how do you feel about
with a gift, though.
how do you
Like,
feel
Writing
about
a
board
love
games?
story. I love it.
oh, it was a whole moment. I have such a vivid memory of the first game that we played together.
Me too. Why don't you tell the story?
In case you couldn't tell by the tone of Matt's voice, he's lying. That was a lie.
Oh, that's so funny.
He doesn't remember
Well,
any of this.
Why don't you tell the story? Then I will tell you if I remember.
He remembers about his Battlemaster staff from 1989.
Come on. That was a core memory.
We've also played a lot of games.
We have
so
played a lot.
They're probably a little
All right,
smushy.
you tell the story, and then I will be honest if it triggers a memory. Go ahead.
So we were not living together.
Okay.
And so basically like every other weekend was we would hang out. We would have a whole epic weekend because the children were with Michael. And he comes over and he has this giant box.
Oh, is this Axis and Allies?
Yeah. Do we even have this game anymore?
No, I gave it away to a student before we moved.
Oh, okay. Giant box, and it looks like there's a map-ish thing on it, and it says Axis and Allies. And I was like, what's going on? He's like, okay, you can totally say no if you think this is stupid. Like, I won't be offended. I won't be upset. I just like thought maybe if we wanted to play a game, we could play this game.
Can't believe I led with that one.
And I was like,
That's insane.
did you have any other board games to lead with at that point,
I might. It's just funny because I might have had Stone Age.
though? You might have had Stone Age.
But I
I
hadn't
don't know.
played that
I
one
feel like I
enough.
remember you buying Stone Age.
Do
Yeah.
you feel like your history teacher connection to you were like,
Right.
okay, like we can get into this because like
Well,
Yeah.
totally.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
like for me, games are about theme. If I don't care about the theme, I don't care about the game. It doesn't matter what the how you play it or what the point is or any of. If I am not invested in the theme,
You have so
So
many
I
good
was
games.
like-
she will not play as much as I would
will
like.
not. That's. I mean, I
You-
don't want to play.
You want to play Terraforming Mars?
No.
Ah, game is so
care
good.
about
See?
space unless it's Star Wars. I don't care about space unless it's Star Wars. It's like let's colonize a planet. That sounds
See,
great.
this is. Oh, I knew
Can
that.
you put like the Star Wars planet stickers like over top to like you Star Wars it for her?
Terraforming Endor.
Right. Terraforming Tatooine.
I would probably play Terraforming Tatooine.
would.
This game is getting a revamp.
Oh boy. So I was like I actually love playing board games. And I'll play this with you, but I get to be the allies.
Sure.
Of course. Like I get to be the allies. I'm not gonna be the bad guys.
No.
So we set it up like on the carpet, on the floor. I don't know.
No
Yes, we
way.
did.
For real?
Yeah.
Not even on the table.
Not even on the table. Honey, I don't know what we were doing. We were trying to be cozy or something. Who
All right,
knows?
okay.
He doesn't remember this memory.
He does not.
I remember playing it. I remember bringing it over.
On the
I
floor?
don't remember the floor.
Yeah.
We played other games on the floor, like played Agricola. We played Seasons, RPG. The first time we played on the floor, the
Yeah.
Pathfinder.
I'm not sure
All
what
right, I believe you.
that was about. It was pre-gigantic table.
Oh, okay, that's
so
right.
at that point, I still had a pretty
round
small
table.
round dining room table. So it could have been.
Okay.
It just wouldn't fit.
I mean, maybe.
True.
I
I mean, it
think
was
it
tight,
would have,
definitely.
but it would have been tight. So that's probably why we were on the floor.
Okay.
But I remember playing. Like, I think what I took away from it was you weren't winning,
Mhm.
but you weren't a dick about it.
Oh, this is great. This is like third date material
Uh-huh.
like type stuff.
Mm.
Like you
Oh.
want to get to know like
I
whether or not somebody's a dick about losing.
serious. This like
Play Uno.
no. I can't. It's funny because we know someone that went on a second date.
I know.
I know, and I want to say like, here, play this game.
They
on the
didn't play
third-
games though.
No, that's what I mean.
No, that's
like
what we're saying. We should
third
tell them
date.
now. We're
Tell them
about
now.
we're about at third date.
Well, they were
zone.
supposed to play a game.
What?
Oh.
Oh, we were talking about the same person? They went on a date last night? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they were supposed to play a game and they didn't end up doing it. Like that was part of the whole thing.
Oh.
Yeah, they were supposed to play a
Oh.
game, but instead they went and got dinner.
Okay.
No, that's funny.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
That's a great idea. That is a good idea, man.
Yeah.
Games, it's like they will reveal.
just like travel.
Well, but it's not as commitment
right.
heavy.
you can just leave the house.
You just leave
You
the
just be like,
house.
well, you're
Yeah,
a dick.
The
I'm
game's
leaving.
done, you're done. Like you're not in Mexico.
You don't even-
like
Mexico.
Not in Mexico.
what do we do now?
Not in Mexico. Yeah. It gives you a lot of information.
And
Well,
of
so-
course you weren't a dick.
Oh, the bar is pretty
Of course you
low. If it's just like you were losing and not an a-hole about it, like that's not all I had to do.
Well, I mean, you have to
pretty easy.
remember that, like, up to that point, most of my recent memory game playing took place with 3 children. So
You kept your A, Matt.
I did.
You kept your A that day.
3 siblings,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
Just like yelling at each other.
Right,
You know, like it
yeah.
was one of the greatest gifts of European board gaming, Euro board gaming, is that you can't tell who's winning until the end,
There's a lot of games
Which-
where there's that, and
which eliminates that, like, seeing your score and
Yeah.
you're the last one, and then there's whining and that whole dynamic that siblings do together when they're playing games is kind of removed because you don't know. You
Not
have
only-
no idea
yeah.
how it's going to shake out in the end.
not only that, which is awesome, but also there's even the games that are not cooperative.
Uh-huh.
Many of them have indirect competition, where like you are playing to win and get points, but there's not a lot of like head-to-head
Battle.
or like if I get
each other
something,
at
you
the
lose
beat.
something.
Right.
There's not that like
Right.
that dichotomy of like I win, you lose. It's like we can all get things a certain amount or certain type, and it's not so competitive.
Yep.
Well, I'm thinking about Seven Wonders because we're going to be playing that at
We're gonna
Christmas,
play it on Christmas.
and that's a great example of something where like you have your thing, you are going to get points, and there will be a winner. But I'm also like not taking things from my neighbor or like doing something to screw over someone so they can't take a turn or anything like that. It's
There is a battle feature in that game
Okay.
where you can build an army, and then the
Oh.
people who are your neighbors on either side, like your armies, at the end of each round, like basically battle.
Okay.
And so you win points or lose points. And I refuse.
well,
I refuse to build an army.
Uh-huh.
And every single time. And everyone else around me is. And so I lose, but I'm focused on building other stuff.
Uh-huh.
So I'm like, I'll lose a battle, but you know what? Science is winning in
Right.
my civilization.
Yeah, it
Or
is.
something like that.
well,
So
it's funny because it's everyone who like plays the game first or second time. They're like, oh, this is the army cards. I want all of them.
Uh-huh.
And like, sure, it's not like the more you have, the more you're gonna get. Like, there's a cap every round. Like, you can only get a certain like first round. The most you can get is like 5 points, and then 3 points. So like, overloading on that is not gonna really get you very far. But everyone's like, oh, I need more army. No, you
Well,
don't.
we are Americans.
I
Yeah,
know, it's the
right.
United States.
But again, like you
Mindset.
you can decide to not do that, and that still won't leave you out of the game. Like you're never going to be losing so bad where like there's no chance. Not only there's no chance you can win, but you're not like out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good stuff.
So when we think about love languages, like receiving gifts for me is not how I receive love.
Would you put it in the top 3?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Me either.
okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's not like
Interesting.
I think I enjoy giving gifts more than I enjoy receiving gifts. And it's not my top 3 of love languages. So what I think about is what I think is fun about that is just the awareness. And I've had this awareness over like the past few years. Maybe it was like when I turned 40. I was like, I have the things that I know that I like.
Mm-hmm.
And I have the things that like feel very comfortable. And I want to fully engage in the things that maybe are not my first choice, are not like the things that I know that I love and that come easily to me. And, within reason, because obviously creature comforts are creature comforts. But like, it puts me into that mindset of like, I don't feel like I'm necessarily even really good at this. It's not second nature as how I show people I love them. As far as like giving somebody something, I would say like I'd be more likely to cook or make something like that sort of gift is more.
Would that
in
not go
alignment.
under active service?
I think so.
See, it
Yeah.
starts to.
Yeah.
Starts to smush together. Like I went out and had drinks with friends from UU last night, and like our old, when we were young in youth group, friend group, and I had made them all little, like their own little flower vibes, like flower tincture essences. And like, I love doing that stuff. Like, I love thinking about like, what are the things that this person wants to imbibe, and then make them a potion and give that to them. Like that I love.
Well, and that's super thoughtful because flower essences are directly related to their inherent and unique selves. So like that's a super thoughtful gift.
I love that.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting to think about where I can mesh, like, this is how I love to show people I love them, and then where does this fall under the like gift giving energy of the season that we're in, because this is gift giving season.
It is.
Whether people are psyched about that or not.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I think I'm going to admit this right now. Part of it too is like spending money for me. Like I'll walk around a store, like we'll go to TJ Maxx or Home Goods, right?
Yep.
I'll have like 3 things, 4 things, 7 things in my arms or my cart. I'll buy none of them at the end of it. Like I am not actually a good buyer.
Yep.
But this like opens the floodgates. It's like you get to spend as much money and buy all the things that you might want to buy. So like there's like that little piece of it for me that is tantalizing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Other people could lead into that if they feel like they don't like this season. And you have to have money to do that. So
That's true.
That's
Right.
stressful for folks. So I can
Yeah.
appreciate that too.
Gift
Well,
giving can be super
so
stressful.
stressful.
And like, I mean, people often have memories around like doing it badly or
Yeah.
wrong.
Oh
Right.
God.
And then I feel like this was a thing for you for a while.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There was an incident.
Not
Is it
with
a
me.
share?
No,
with
not
me.
with you. No. Yes.
What was
so
this incident?
it
I don't
ma-
even know if I know this story.
I'm not going to tell it. I
What?
will just say
Come
that.
on.
No,
Like,
all I will say.
Paraphrase it.
What?
Paraphrase it.
Well, I mean, we can infer a lot. It involved giving of a gift, and if it stung me in some way, we can also infer the response to the gift without the details. It did make me super nervous to give you any gift ever.
Which
For-
She loves your gifts.
I know-
She always
which
talks
I
about
was
what
just
kind
like-
of
Maybe
you
I
are
need that
that-
nervousness to keep my edge.
Yeah, that's nice.
If I get
Don't
too-
lose it.
if I get too like secure or safe, or if I feel loved enough, and when I'm going shopping for you, I'm just like, I'm
Jesus.
gonna lose it. Gonna lose it.
Jesus.
Keep that edge. Yeah.
Jesus.
Oh my god.
Well, and there were so many times where early on in our relationship, you would get me a gift, and like I mean, I get super sappy on holidays, and like Christmas in particular makes me the weepiest sack. Like I was just crying watching a stupid sitcom the other night.
You did. You were crying.
Was it holiday related?
Yeah, we watched the
Yeah.
Big Bang Theory Christmas episodes. We watched a few of them the other night.
And there was this scene where they're playing an RPG.
Playing Dungeons and
They're
Dragons.
playing Dungeons and Dragons, and the game master was Leonard, and he wrote a game to take place like basically they had to rescue Santa from a dungeon. So
That's
they're all
cute.
playing. It's very like themed, holiday themed. And Sheldon hates Christmas, and he hates Santa, and he hates the whole thing, and so he's just crapping on it the whole time, even though he has so much Christmas information because he's a genius. And it comes to the point where they're trying to save Santa, and Sheldon stuns his friend group so that they can't save Santa, and he like yells at Santa and is basically like, I'm gonna leave you here. You're gonna die in the dungeon to Santa. And that leads to him divulging that like at one point his grandfather had passed, and so as a child he went to see Santa and sat on Santa's lap, and he's like, all that I want for Christmas is my pop. And I lost it. I was like, you are not eating Slim Jims anymore. Like, if something happens to you, Luna is going to be so sad. She's going to be asking Santa to bring back her pop-up. Like, you need to pull it together and take care of your body because nothing can happen to you. And I was crying. Like, I couldn't stop
I know.
crying. I was trying to put together a puzzle, and I'm just, like, weeping on the puzzle.
Meanwhile, it's like we had been out all day, so I was just lying on the couch, and I'm like, I'm dozing in and out, like I'm almost falling asleep. It's like a 6:30 p.m. nap, and then I remember watching that part, and it was like, oh my god, honey, no more Slim Jims! Ah! Yeah. Oh my god, you were
And the
so
truth
sad.
is people pass around the holidays.
They do sometimes.
And like, well, and actually, I think that the instances are higher for some reason. Like,
Really?
I think that if you look at the statistics,
Jeez.
that like there's more of a likelihood. So it can be a really sad time of year for
So
folks.
sad.
Yeah.
And I get super, super sappy and nostalgic around the holidays, around Christmas. And so like there have been multiple Christmases. I mean, over the years that we've been together where I opened the gift that you give me and the kids are just they're like
3, 2, 1.
and the tears. Okay, here we are. You know, like I just will burst into tears because it's like the perfect gift. It's so beautiful. Like, or like you said, like you pay attention and he's like, I don't pay attention, but he does. Like,
He does.
I'm like, when did I even say, I don't even remember saying to you that I want this, but I remember seeing this and wanting it, you know? So like that whole thing will happen.
That is all my mom right there. That's where I get that from.
Oh
She
yeah.
was
Your
very
mom
good
is
at that.
so good at this.
She's very much like,
Yep.
her ears are perked up 24/7, 365 for
Quiet ones. You
stuff
gotta
like
watch
that.
out.
I don't think I'm quiet, but
You are.
no,
You are.
I'm quiet.
I mean, generally speaking, I don't think I would.
Oh, I'm not loud.
You're not loud.
I'm not loud.
No.
I don't think I'm quiet. Matt's shushed me a few times in my life.
What?
Oh, he
Were
definitely
we
has.
playing a board game?
Or watching TV, or just tipping back a little bit.
Oh, I don't remember. Man,
His cheeks are red.
I know.
It's okay.
Well, I'm like, oh my god, when did they do this? And then he said we were probably watching the movie, and immediately I'm like, oh, well, then it was fine.
Yeah,
Totally
it was
justified.
fine. I survived.
Watching a movie, playing a board game. There was this like meme or reel kind of going
TikTok,
around
yeah.
TikTok of this woman filming her husband who's sitting on the floor playing a board game with a group of friends. And you could just see that he's like silently seething and he's getting a little sweaty. And she's like, this is what happens when my husband wants to play a board game and everyone is talking instead of playing the board game.
Oh, it's painful though. Come on now. What are we here to do?
What are we
What
here
are
to
we here to do?
Dude,
Yes,
like-
that's what it is. We don't have to play the game. We could sit around and just talk, and that's fine.
Exactly. And if like, I'm also not like you can't talk.
Right.
Know when your turn is.
Know when your turn
like,
is.
yeah. Like we're gonna keep
Again,
it moving.
Presence, awareness.
Yeah.
You can't play a game
Mm-hmm.
and be elsewhere.
Yeah.
Like, make a choice.
Make a choice.
Make a choice.
I know. This is why I give them to people It's like, this is what you need right now. You need to put your phone down, get with people that you like, and do this thing that will take 40 minutes, and it's not hard to use your brain. Keep those synapses firing, please, and do something without your phone and have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's some of my favorite days is when we get lost in that, and I'm like, oh shit, I haven't checked my phone in like 4 hours.
I love that. Like, I love those days because I'll text you and I'll be like, how was your day? And you'll be like, it was so good. We played games.
We played board
I'm
games
like,
all
yeah,
day.
she had a good day.
played
We
board
were
games all
playing
day.
Star Wars Rebellion, and that takes 2 hours at least.
At least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get nervous giving things sometimes. Like,
Yeah.
I don't love it as much. If I had more confidence in myself, I would love it.
Mm.
I like it, but I don't love it because there's always a piece of me. It's like, ooh, God, don't screw this up.
This is a Virgo thing.
Yeah.
This is Virgo.
I mean, even I, though, like, and part of it, I think, is because I have a reputation to uphold.
No
it's
pressure,
the-
but you are
like-
the curator of
Like,
gifts.
it's stressful because you want, right? Because I think, and I have Virgo rising, like,
Mm.
you want it to be right.
Yeah.
You want it to be
Right.
right. You want to nail it. Like,
Mhm.
you want to do a good job, get a gold star. Yeah. You want them to be happy. Like, I love how happy when people receive the right gift. I love how happy it makes them. Like, I love the fact that you cry. Our friend that we have, she cries too. I love it. I'm like, ooh, we're gonna get her to cry this time. It's like, because I know she's so happy.
So happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, my happy tears flow way more easily than my sad or angry tears. Like
Mm.
I feel like
They
yours
really
goes
do.
happy, angry, sad.
it's 100%. Yes, accurate in the tears ometer.
Mine goes dog videos, angry, sad.
Sometimes, well, I mean, there's sloth tears. I don't know what those are.
Right.
I don't know what category they fall into. And maybe Highland cow videos or pig videos for sure.
I
What
mean,
makes you cry, Matt?
I was about to say, there's going to be some Superman tears this summer.
Oh yeah.
Is there a
There's-
new movie
There's
coming
gonna
out?
be a new Superman movie. The poster was released yesterday
Mm-hmm.
with, like, on TikTok and social media with clips of the music. And, like, I don't know if you remember the Zack Snyder Henry Cavill as Superman. It was very, like, literally dark, gritty. They tried to make it, like,
Oh.
he was not...
Noir.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like the Christopher Reeve bright colors, optimistic Superman.
Uh-huh.
And this is a clear departure. This is like a return to, like, the poster is bright and colorful. He's in his costume. He's posing like he's flying up in the air. Like he's like in the tagline just says "Look up," and
I just got chills.
I know.
I
Well,
was like,
and the music too is like this vocal piece. But I listened to it twice. I'm like, that sounds like the OG John Williams Superman theme from the Christopher Reeve movie, and it totally is.
I
So
love
like,
that.
he's understanding the assignment. He gets it. And tomorrow the trailer is the teaser
goes out?
trailer.
Okay.
Teaser trailer is dropping tomorrow at 6 a.m. And so, like, everyone on TikTok was seeing, they're like, he understood the assignment. This is our hopeful Superman. This is our optimistic Superman. We can't wait. So, like,
That's exactly
oh
what
my
we need right
God.
now.
Well, that's what everyone's like. We need Superman. We need the hope Superman. So yeah. So pre-warning. You got about 7 months. I'll try
here
to.
for
I'll
it.
try to rein it in.
You don't have to.
Well,
I
I'm
love
gonna.
it. I
it's gonna
love
stay right
when
here.
you don't rein things in.
It's good.
It's gonna stay right here in the form of a diamond.
It's nothing sweeter than when we, like, this happened in a couple of the Marvel movies where, like, kind of like how the kids on Christmas are, like, looking at me, like, waiting for the tears to come. We're all, like, in a line in the movie theater, and the kids are like,
Yeah.
Abby will be like, is Matt crying?
I remember we watched Endgame, and you were like, "You've never held my hand tighter than when Captain America picked up Thor's hammer."
It's got chills again.
It did. It's like there's that close up of this, like a super close up of the hammer on the ground, and it just slowly lifts. Like you know who's lifting it, but they don't show it. Like it just lifts off the ground. I remember the air in the theater was sucked out. Everyone's just like, and then like the next scene is the hammer flying at Thanos and then flying back, and he catches it. Theater went bananas.
Bananas.
And then you were like, "You've never held my hand tighter." Maybe second close is when he was using the hammer to channel the lightning.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, that's a close second. Yeah.
So funny because I thought you were going to say on our wedding day,
I had to keep it together.
second closest.
Definitely not. Definitely not. There was way too much pressure. That was too
Yeah, no,
too high a
that-
pressure day
It was never gonna.
for vulnerability.
I had to be on. I had to be in the front. I had to speak.
Yeah.
There's no way.
He wrote his vows that morning.
They had to be fresh.
Yeah, right? No stale vows.
I could have messed something up in the 48 hours prior. Yeah, I think that when it's gift giving season, how I always approach it, of course, is like personal and conscious around, like people's value system. Like, so there's that. And then there's also just the awareness that like money speaks and where we put our resources matter. So sometimes when I go into gift giving mode, I go into like, how can I give this person something that I know that they will love while supporting a business that I care about, or a business that has a mission or an ethical alignment that I care about? Like one year we ordered Dad,
The whiskey?
the Uncle Nearest whiskey, and like supporting a Black owned distillery, like that has the original recipe prior to.
Right. That also tickled our history nerd.
It did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's all those pieces that go into it too. Sometimes I wish that and maybe this is my invitation to, that I started earlier, because I think like I don't really think about Christmas until like November-ish.
Yeah.
Like after my birthday, I'm like, okay, it's Christmas time now.
Well, and Thanksgiving was so late this year. I feel like everybody is like,
Ah,
oh my God.
yeah.
I mean, Christmas is a week away.
A week.
Yeah, next week.
It's a week right
Like
now.
from today.
Yeah, from our recording.
No, I
date
start
here.
early. I
You
mean, but
do.
then the problem is you can't start too early because then you just give the gifts.
That's
to them.
a serious problem that
Yeah.
I have had in the past.
But I start my list early. Like I start my like list of what I'm. It's always my notes app and it's all the names, and then so I start that early.
Yeah, I need to be better at that.
About what?
Like
Starting
just
earlier?
thinking about it earlier, starting earlier, so I can have that like awareness around, and this is one of the things I was thinking about, like wanting to go to PAX, is I'm like, God, I would love to have an intention, at least, like not forced, but an intention to see if I could find everybody a board game at
totally.
PAX.
Yeah.
Because like they're very often like you can't get them yet. A lot of the board games there, like
Right.
like you can't just walk into a store. Never will we make that mistake again. We were taught this game at the GameCon called Beer and Bread.
Oh yeah.
I don't think it's down here anymore.
It is.
Oh, it's right up there. Beer and Bread. So good.
It's a two-player game.
Two-player game. So fun. Like I love you are collecting resources to either brew beer or make bread, and you get points accordingly. And the theme is built in. So you can go out and buy beer, and you can go out and get some bread, and you can have like your little snack session. I mean, I don't really drink beer. It's gross, but
You get some lambic.
I like when you do.
You
So,
do.
Yeah, I like when your
I
breath
know.
smells like beer. We can unpack
If
that
there's any
later.
question that there's any question that I hit the jackpot. We
It's
just
that
answered.
one. It's
Seriously.
That really sealed it.
Sometimes people are like, "Ooh, I don't like beer smell," and you're like, "Not only do I not mind it,
I
I
like
love
like
it."
it.
actively.
I mean, it's got to be like, honestly, it probably reminds me of my grandmother.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Love that. Grandma Matt.
Nana's breath just smelling like beer.
It's so
Because
comforting.
What did you do?
Oh,
in
your
the
breath smells
80s
like
and
Pabst.
90s?
Drank beer and smoked cigarettes.
Yeah, jeez. What was okay? So it was such a cute game, and then
Could you buy it there?
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
You could buy it there.
We,
Okay.
Yep.
but we didn't.
We bought one copy. We bought ourselves one.
Not beer and bread.
You're right. Oh my God. You're 100% right.
Yeah, and so like then there's that little bit of a game of being like, okay, how many board games have we purchased in the last 24 hours? Like maybe we need to just settle down.
But see, if you tie Christmas into it, now that gives you
then
a
that
free
gives you
card.
the free card.
Gives you that free card to spend that money.
Just be like, this is Christmas.
This is
Board
Christmas.
game. It's a holly jolly board game Christmas.
Okay,
this
so
year.
what I'm doing right now, there's one book upstairs on my bookshelf that is dedicated to spare cash. Every time I get paid, I take out $20-$40, just slip it in there. Right now, the intention is vacation. Maybe I do one for PAX.
Oh, there we
So
go.
in a year from now, we got some loose cash. It's just burning a hole.
We got some loose
And then your Christmas presents are paid for.
There you
and
go.
Yeah.
PAX cash.
Yeah.
So, I was like, I think it was towards the end of the day. We definitely were already carrying around a significant amount of board games, and I'm like, nah, like let's think about it.
This was Saturday.
We can get it
And
at
we can
the
get it
game
tomorrow.
store. Oh, tomorrow.
We can get
Well,
it
yeah, because
tomorrow.
we got down there Friday morning. Like it was a Friday. We had passes the whole weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Went Friday afternoon, evening, and then we did the whole day. Most of the whole day Saturday. You had to teach.
I had to teach the first part of the day. on
So like
Saturday.
1:00 to dinner time at
Yeah.
least.
Yep.
Maybe even later because we did that escape room that wasn't until like 10. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
You guys are party animals.
Yeah.
on
Oh
vacation.
yeah.
But only apparently at game
Only for
Game cons.
game cons or historical tours
or ghost tours.
or ghost tours. Yeah. So we're like, oh, we'll get it tomorrow. We don't have the space right now, and it's late. We didn't go on Sunday,
I had the worst headache in the morning, like worst headache.
so we just called it and drove home. And then we're like, oh, when's this game come out? It didn't come out for like 6-7 months.
At least.
Yeah.
At least.
Which then we're like, oh, this is why you buy them at the convention.
Yeah. And there was
Uh-huh.
another one. What's the-
Azul
No.
Chocolatier?
Oh, we didn't get that game.
No.
Damn it. There was. What's the one with we're making the pot sticker?
Oh,
the-
Steam Up.
Steam Up.
Yep.
So such a cute game. Like every little component looks like the
That's
dumpling
fun.
components,
Uh-huh.
which is so freaking cute. And that had been released.
Yep. It was demoing there too.
And it was like an independent,
Yeah.
like self-published,
Small publisher. Yeah.
yeah, kind of board game, and we didn't get that one either. However, Barnes and Noble ended up picking
Yep,
it up
yep.
and carrying that board game, and
Because
so
it was
like,
so cute.
Yeah.
it was so cute,
Very
and it was
cute.
on its own little special display, and I was like, oh, we saw that game at the Game Con, But yeah, I think I would love to kind of go into it with like, what would be the hook for someone, because I think there is that, like,
Mhm.
I don't do that. That's not a hobby that I have, and
Mm.
I assert
That everyone
that there's
can
a game for everyone.
and should do it. That's the
I-
way. Yeah.
Yeah, I love a grouped gift thing too. Like book club, everybody in book club's getting like a different version of the same thing, and I love when there's a group that you can like do that with.
Yeah, yeah,
That
that's
to me is
sweet.
really exciting and fun.
That's cool.
Just trying to find different versions of a thing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I like how if someone were to say, here is like, oh, I know this hobby you're like, or like, I know you like bourbon. Here is a bottle of your favorite bourbon. Like
Yeah.
something simple. Like it seems topical or seems not so deep. But if it's like, oh, you love playing RPGs and Dungeons and Dragons, here's a set of dice. I'm
Yeah.
like, that is so, like, I don't see that as like, oh, it's just dice. Like that to me is almost so meaningful because it's like,
Do you know me?
because you know me, right? And it doesn't have to be a huge thing. I've been on this horse, high horse. I guess I've been on this high horse for
Hill.
years, where it's mainly about the children.
Uh-huh.
Where like,
Yeah.
I would like everyone to participate in Christmas.
Mm.
That doesn't mean they have to buy me something. Or like,
Well,
I
like
just
how
don't want-
Abby got you. Abby's also really
She's good at gift
thoughtful
giving.
at
yeah,
gifts.
she is very good.
And making things
Mhm.
like
Oh,
she does,
yeah.
So what she did for your birthday?
No, this was Christmas, I think.
No,
I think it was.
this just now.
Oh, I'm thinking about something from years ago. So you tell me
see,
yours
so
first.
he's gonna give a bunch.
I
of
know what
Abby
the birthday
examples.
one is. It's
So-
so cute.
Yeah, so like she cultivated, like she made you your
Oh,
own signature
yeah.
drink.
Your cocktail,
with the
yeah.
grumpy
And,
old
like,
man.
Your own signature drink with a little recipe card,
And you
and
know
then
what?
brought all the ingredients over and made it for you.
And here's the thing: if she made the recipe
Uh-huh.
and said, "Here is a recipe for a drink for," like I made it
I
for
designed
you,
it for you.
designed it.
Mhm.
I even thought like, "Oh, we only have half the stuff. I'll go out to the store right now and get the rest
Yep.
of the stuff." She's like, "No, I brought it."
Yeah.
I was like, "That's adorable," but you wouldn't have to have the stuff if you're like, "I designed this because I called it a grumpy old man because it's full of the things you love." That's the level of participation I am talking about.
Yep.
Instead of just having Christmas throw up on you,
Yes.
I just like participate in some way
Mhm.
because that is going to show me more than just like, okay, I'm here now. When's dinner?
Right. Right.
Right.
I'm waiting for the Christmas where Eden understands this.
Phoebe's here this year. And
Yeah.
like Eden and Phoebe too, I'm gonna call you kids out. Like they're creative. Like
Right.
Oh, very
I'm
much
like
so.
I'm like, you could have been making paintings for the
Mhm.
family for
Oh yeah.
20 years. You're 20 years old
Yeah.
since you were one.
Yep.
Like, and so it's always driven me a little bit crazy, right?
Uh-huh.
So,
Mhm.
but Phoebe's there this year. She's been like telling me all the little things that she's like
that she's getting.
putting together and getting.
Right.
Oh, that's cute.
And like I'm waiting. Eden, not only is she creative, like she really loves role playing gaming.
Yeah.
And that's something that she participated in more than the other girls. Like
Mhm.
that was definitely like the thing that she loved to do more than anything. So I'm like, just come, girl. Like I'm just trying to send her the vibes. I'm like, come to Christmas with pre-made characters for everybody.
Right.
Come to Christmas with a one shot that we
Yeah,
can play.
right?
Like just come with that stuff.
hmm
And
That'd be amazing.
come on, girl.
Well, this is going to be published after Christmas, so maybe next year.
She doesn't listen to this podcast.
Can I tell you
Uh-huh.
Oh, it's
Mhm.
cute.
the thing
Yeah.
that Abby made for me? This is like, God, 2013, 14 maybe.
So she was a baby.
This is a long, yeah. All right, this is a Harry Potter gift from Harry Potter 3, Prisoner of Azkaban. In one of the scenes, the kids are in divinations class
Mhm.
and they're reading tea leaves. And Harry looks in his cup, and the leaves have formed like, it's called the Grim, which is basically like a wolf
Mm-hmm.
at the bottom of his cup. And the teacher's like, oh my God, it's the Grim. And it looks like a werewolf or something. She had she bought a mug or got a cheap mug, and then I don't know what she used, like glue and something, and just like made that basically. So I looked in the cup and it was the Grim. She was like, it's the
That's
Grim, like from the
so
movie. I'm like,
cool.
that is so cool and thoughtful, like, and so easy too. And like,
Yep.
and honestly, if any of the kids came to me and were like, I would like to do this as a gift for my siblings, but I don't have the scratch. Can you help me out? I'd be like, yes, I
Right.
will pay for it, whatever. Like,
Yeah, Abby's definitely a queen of like Pinterest gifting ideas. So she's so on with that. Like
yes, very much.
like she'll
Mhm.
do the that little extra I don't have a lot and
Mhm.
I can give my creativity and my
Mhm.
time and
Well, now she may regret the drink she gave me because I'm going to want another one. I'm going to want one every year.
she's gonna have to top the grumpy old man.
Oh,
She's gonna
yeah.
have to go take a bartending class. She's gonna have to like
Maybe that's what we should get her for her
Right,
birthday.
yeah.
Yeah.
Give her the like Udemy like bartending,
bartending or like
masterclass.
mixology.
Uh-huh.
That's awesome.
It's fun.
Well, honey, you have definitely helped me heal the wound of gift giving
Oh, I love
that I
that.
had.
Aw.
So,
Well, and we started a new thing last year with gift giving for each other, and that is that we realized that we would have to plan days where we're apart all day
mhm.
Mhm.
and like going shopping for each other and then crossing our fingers that we're getting the right stuff or it's the right size or it's the right this or it's right that. So we're like, let's just go. Like,
Yeah.
let's go together shopping and pick out things together that we want. And then we wrap them and put them under the tree. Sometimes, I mean, this is a short shopping season, like you know. But there were times last year I was opening stuff. I'm like, oh yeah, I
Oh, yeah,
totally forgot that we picked this out. Like, when did we go in
100%.
this store? Because
Yep.
it ends up like a blur when you're shopping
Mhm.
all day and getting things for other people
So
too.
true.
And so, we go get lunch and it's just really sweet.
I love doing it.
Yeah.
There's something special.
Well, there's always a sneaky
There's
something.
a little
Right.
sneaky something too that
Something you don't know about.
Something you don't know about.
Yeah, there's we usually do the sneaky something for
Yeah.
each other, but like primarily it's just
Well, it takes away because receiving gifts is hard too, right?
mhm.
Yeah.
And like receiving something that you're just not that into
Right.
sucks. It
Yeah.
just sucks because
Yeah.
you either have to like thanks or you have to be like, can I have a gift receipt? Right?
Yeah.
It depends on like how close you are with the
Right,
person
yeah.
you're getting it
Yeah.
from. And so like, why? Why would
Right.
you do that? Right? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I hear people I know. I've felt that like that anxiety they feel. We're like, oh my God, what's the reaction going to be?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough.
Oh my god, so much jewelry that you've gotten me through the years, like, and then for the rest of the day you're like, did you is it good? Is it okay?
Do you like immediately put it on now?
Like, yeah, but that's always true. I always
Mm.
immediately put it on. You got to come to Christmas morning, sans jewelry.
Oh, nice.
Wow, we're making some presumptions, aren't we? You are.
I mean, I just love jewelry. I feel like it's one of those things that it's forever. You know, like you keep the pieces of jewelry that you love forever. And you know, I'm definitely an accessory type of person. Like I want to wear all the rings and all of I don't have a lot of bracelets, but I don't know. That's more of a summer thing, I think. Summertime bracelets, but
More of a never thing.
you're like, never do I ever.
No.
I know, you have that gorgeous ring that you bought at Omega.
I wear it sometimes.
I'm like,
I
where
almost wore
is
it
that
today.
ring?
I almost wore it today. It's funny.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, I did almost wear it today. Yeah.
hmm
Earrings all the way.
Yeah, I mean, earrings are the most fun.
The most fun.
I think. But yeah, like you're very, very good at gift giving. I mean, I'll only speak for myself. You're very good at giving me gifts. Whew.
Thanks, honey.
Yeah, it's a fun love language to explore. I mean,
It's just so much weight behind it. You know what I mean? Like if we could all just take it a little less seriously and like be given the grace to explore with it and not have so much meaning behind it.
is that true about other love languages? Like,
Well, I think like
can you do cuddling wrong?
I mean, there's no
Yes,
holiday.
totally.
There aren't really holiday. I mean, I guess maybe there are. I'm like,
I think
so much time. There's this big spotlight on that,
There's
on
a
the
big
gift giving.
right.
Right?
Like you almost like you don't have to. I mean, you don't have to give gifts. You can be somebody who does not give gifts, right? Like you can.
Sure.
Societally, people are gonna have thoughts about you. Whereas, like, if you're somebody who just like never seems to find yourself like doing acts of service or offering
Right.
physical touch, like nobody's gonna know. Like,
Uh-huh.
it's just there's a different like it's
It's true.
like. You pretty much have to give and receive gifts as a human.
Right.
Like,
Or people are gonna talk shit.
are we gonna talk shit?
It is, yeah, that's like one of the more visible ones.
Yeah.
Next to like words of affirmation, maybe in quality time, but
But
yeah,
even that, like, if you
give
just never give words of affirmation, like, people might think it subconsciously almost, but, like, I wouldn't be like,
yeah.
wow, like, Matt never tells me anything nice about myself. You know what I mean? Like, I just wouldn't
Well, I
really
think-
have that thought actively.
I think that the point that you made, right? Like, this is essentially the gift giving holiday.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if there was one day a year where everyone was expected to give and receive physical touch?
Right.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Physical touch day. Right? And
Words
you
of
hate
affirmation
that.
day.
Uh-huh.
And that's not how you
It's not how you
receive love.
receive
It's
love.
not how you give love. And you're like,
You're like, okay. Well, and actually, like, pretty much all holidays have a gift giving component.
yeah.
I mean, even Halloween, you're giving out candy. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, like, Thanksgiving, I guess. It's got the word giving in it. Like, I don't know. Like, there's just like,
You're giving things.
like, it's,
I mean,
and that's-
Thanksgiving probably could be the acts of service holiday
Uh-huh.
for the person who's
The person who's in the kitchen.
or the person who does the dishes, or the person who clears the table, or the person who sets the table. Like,
Right.
there's ways to show up, but like, yeah, there's not like a words of affirmation day
Words of
on
affirmation day.
I mean, like-
July 13th.
Uh-huh.
Every single year, you have everybody needs to give and receive words of affirmation.
Do we want to make a words of affirmation holiday?
I think we should make a holiday for all of
For
the
all
love
five
languages.
love languages.
Yep.
That's gonna be
And just declare it like as a yoga farm cultural thing.
Uh-huh.
okay. So the first podcast after the break, we will come prepared
To
with
announce.
to announce the love language holidays
Okay,
for
love
the
it.
Ever Four. They need to have the date, and it can't be arbitrary.
Oh,
Got to
interesting.
think of the day. Yeah, you got to think of the what day of the year, and there needs to be a reason. Can't just pick it. And what is the ritual or activity associated with the holiday?
Love some homework.
Ooh. You know, do you remember the angel walk thing that happened at
I was
FLSM?
actually
Oh.
having thoughts that we need to do that at the retreat in Guatemala.
Let's do it.
I was
And
having that thought.
that is how you celebrate physical touch.
Yeah. Yeah. So
See,
that
this is
one's
a great
there.
idea.
This is a great idea.
This
That
is
one's already
like
there.
I'm not going to say the whole episode on the first day we come back is about it, but it's definitely we're talking about it.
Okay. I mean, I love a follow-up episode.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do it.
All right.
Okay.
Happy holidays from Wi-Fi, everyone.
Yeah, enjoy your time off and however you spend it.
Mm-hmm. Bye.